Let's just start the info session. I'm sure after a few questions.
I was talking about the mission partner there. I'm going to talk a little bit about the camp itself because they run a summer camp, as you saw in the video just now. Every summer they take about 100 kids off the vet center. It's an agreement we kind of have with the government there, and they take kids out for about a month, and then usually there are 4 teams that go for each to take out 1 week each. And I think this year we're the second week to go there. So we go there for a week. We spend about 4 days in camp to give the kids the time. Okay, so the camp is about a week. We spend about actually 4 days there because there's a bit of time that you have to be in UB, the capital city, before you got to go to the camp, and after camp, they're debriefing back in the city as well. So the good thing is when you, I can attest to that, you go into UB, you kind of settle down into the gear mode first, then you actually go to the camp where just to rough it up a little bit even more. And during those 4 days, we obviously spend time with the kids because the kids come from an orphanage and they don't really have a sense of family. Depending on the kids that we get this year, it really could vary because every year you go in, and even within the different weeks, the character of the camp can change quite a bit. So I've been there a couple of years. First year when everything's kind of smooth sailing and everything. The second year I went, the kids were a bit raw because the Lead Center obviously is a dynamic body. They take in kids and some kids graduate and leave the center. So there's always been a turnaround. And last year I think it was a year of turnaround where a lot of the older kids were sent off to either back on the streets or they've gone on to university and whatnot. And then they've taken in some more kids off the street. And when kids come off the street and into the center, they do tend to get a bit rough. Because that's just how they survive the streets, being mean and hitting everybody and just scrambling for scraps everywhere. And so last year when we first arrived at camp, it was quite raw. The kids were really unruly, and Chloe had the privilege of taking care of, especially this kid. And so you just never kind of know what to expect at camp. But throughout the camp, you see how the kids would really warm to you. And then become part of your family. And so what we do at camp is that we divide the whole team into 8 to 10 families, roughly. And then within the family groups, we try to spend family time with them and then prepare skits, do arts and crafts and whatnot. So just to, you'll see how you can build up a kid's confidence by letting them achieve things that we kind of take for granted in the city. So that's just a way of how we spend time with kids.
We understand that the Lead shelter is actually run by government, so they know that we are Christians, all right. But we cannot go there and just openly say and share the gospel. But through our love, through our friendship, through our consistency, because every year we send a team there. I mean, this is an act of love, right? We actually show to these kids that we care, even though we're not related to them by blood or not even the same. We're not even in the same race. I mean, we come from all over, right? But it is really sharing God's love with them. So these are some of the, it is when we go there, we focus on God. We change. I mean, we hope to change life or influence life through our being there and our lives. All right. We are the representatives of God in Mongolia, and we're there to show compassion and also justice. So next, let's talk a little bit about the logistics. The dates for this trip is set from the 7th to the 14th of July. All right, we'll fly on a Sunday, and we'll arrive back in Hong Kong on Sunday. And the flight is directly from Hong Kong to UP. About 4.5 hours flight on the Mongolian airline. And this would be sort of roughly the trip schedule. in day one, we'll arrive into UB. We'll be staying at a hostel type. Some of us might get to sleep in the gear. Some of us may not. I mean, they have gears. It's quite interesting. All right. And then on day 2 on Monday, we'll head out to camp. We run 5 days of camp. On Friday, we will be back in UB. Okay. So on Saturday.
It's about 2.5 hours drive.
Okay. So on Saturday, we will spend some time in UB. You know, we had quite a lot of fun the last time, right? To visit, I cannot tell you exactly what the schedule is, but in UB, for those of you who haven't been to Mongolia, it will be interesting first time. All right, and on Sunday, we'll be back in Hong Kong by noon time. This is an early morning flight. Okay, so a typical day in camp, basically, I mean, we eat together, live together. We'll have breakfast, team devotions. And in the morning, we will have activity stations with the kids. Okay. I'm not boring you. Okay. And then, because you'll be divided in family with the kids, so these kids are like your family. You'll be eating with them lunch and dinner. In the afternoons, there'll be more activity stations or group games or events. Okay. And the evening is really just to chill. You relax. You really stargazing. I mean, Pastor Randy brought his telescope the last time, and I was like, you actually see the whole Milky Way. I mean, it's just fabulous. Coming from Singapore, with all the bright lights, I've never seen, you know, that many stars in one piece of sky. So it's beautiful. Okay. It's pretty relaxing. Okay. And for you to know, this is really a camping trip. There is a wooden structure there. A lot of us stay in tents. I mean, you have the option of staying in tents or in the cabin. All right. You'll be sharing the cabin with us. I mean, the cabin packs in quite a lot. Just one cabin, many tents. The temperature can range between 10 to 30 over degrees. Last year, it was generally quite cool.
And the year before.
Also quite cool. Okay, in the night it was about 10 degrees. In the day it was like 20 something, something like Hong Kong. Sunny. All right.
Minus the pollution, right? But minus the pollution, right?
Yeah, beautiful. Minus pollution.
Awesome.
No hot running water. The water is underground water. Really, it comes from the melting snow in the mountains, underground, pure icy cold. Okay.
Crystal clear.
Crystal clear. Yeah, but not quite.
Not for drinking.
Not for drinking. I mean,
We'll get drinking water.
actually, there are toilets in the Mongolian sense of the word. I mean, like I explained, the toilet is 7 feet hole in the ground. All right, it's washed perfectly well. All right.
You put it so nicely. I love it.
Okay, and I know like last week I met quite a few people at the fair, and they keep asking me about the showers and the toilets. I mean, coming from Singapore, I'm actually quite antiseptic, but I survived, so it's cool. It's really alright. Okay, and I spent 5 days in the tent and in the sleeping bag, and it's cool too. It's really nice. It's like AC, okay? Really natural AC.
It's pretty dry up there, so you know, even though even if it gets to 30+ degrees, you might sweat and stuff like that, but it dries up very quickly. I mean, you get to get used to this. But seriously, you know, you don't really smell. You don't really smell. And if it's hot enough, then we do water fights, and that.
You just adapt.
Or in the last couple of years, it's been raining quite a lot, so it's not hot enough for you to sweat.
Rain shower.
Yeah, you get a shower. Best spring shower ever.
Alright. Any questions? Movement? Okay, let's just go into other points to note because very soon, very quickly we're going to Q&A. Okay. So we will have like application forms online in the ECC website. Yes, Brittany? application online?
Yes, well actually, if you go to the ECC website on the missions and outreach, there's a little link that says mission trip application. Some of you probably filled it out before. You can fill it out all online and it'll send directly to me. And so we'll need you guys to fill that out. The application is due in 2 weeks on May 12th, and so it's like 2 weeks or 3? Maybe that's
third week from now.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. And so, but you can fill that out online and it will send directly to me.
So, you. And make sure you have valid passports, at least 6 months validity. For visas, I understand like the Commonwealth countries would require visas, like the UK, Canada, and Australian passports will require visas. So you need to fill in time to do the visas, right?
There's a consulate in Hong Kong, but it's sort of
Okay. And we will get travel insurance for everyone.
Yes.
Yes. So that's
On the application, it'll ask if you actually have travel insurance. Some of you travel often for work. You know your company provides you travel insurance, but we will purchase travel insurance for the people who do not. Travel insurance is a must, and so on the application, if you'll just click if you do travel insurance or not, that'll let me know, and we'll purchase that for you later down the road, and we'll handle all that for you. Also with the application, it'll say on the bottom that you need to submit your passport copy, and also, and we'll talk about visas later down the road, but your passport copy and your Hong Kong ID copy, those can either be uploaded and sent to me via email, or they can actually be brought to the first team meeting. But that is mandatory, like we need those right away, so we'll have to send them in.
And because we have like a group, sort of like a group booking on the flights, a discount and a group booking, so we kind of need to have at least your initial response by the 12th of May for all this flight booking.
Yes.
We have 20 spots, and judging from the response that we have heard, it could be filled up quite quickly. So, please go back, pray about it, and I think 3 weeks is plenty of time to pray and know God's will for you, whether you should or should not go, sort out your leave application and so on and so forth, and we hope to know by the 12th of May. All right. Following, at the cost for the trip at the moment, we're kind of budgeted out. It's about $6,500 for each person. That includes airfare and the food and lodging and everything in. That's something you have to sort of provision for yourself. And we will also provide letters for fundraising and donations from friends, family, or even if you want to give more. The funds and the donations goes to the camp expense, because we have about 100 kids at summer camp.
And I just have to, I also want to say that as far as the actual expense for the trip, that expense paid by you is actually a donation. It goes into a missions fund that we have set up, and so that's actually tax deductible as well. So it just goes over to an overall fund that we have, and then out of that, all the expenses are paid. So that's tax deductible as well as all the extra donations that we get for the camp expenses and